Welcome back to Good Better Broker as we bring in Diane Luongo-Gazich. She is a certified mortgage advisor with C2 Financial based in Orange County, California. Diane, great to have you here.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Well,
what
you
an
are
honor.
You are an accomplished mortgage loan originator, Diane. This June will be your 39th year in the mortgage business. So needless to say, you have seen all kinds of markets. You've seen basically everything there is to see in the mortgage industry. And one of the things that you really like to focus on is partnerships over relationships. So just give us an idea of how those partnerships have impacted your success, Diane, in the time you've been in the business.
Thank you. Yes, partnerships are, I always say, are more like a marriage, where relationships are you're just dating. And when you have a partnership, there's much more of a commitment to the relationship that you're having. So, anyways, the partnerships with trust attorneys, divorce attorneys, CPAs, tax preparers, divorce. Did I say divorce attorneys already?
I believe so, but you can say it again. That's all right, just to reinforce it.
And of course, real estate agents. Real estate agents have always been the core part of my business. I'm purchase driven. So when I've done the refinance market, those all came back from total referral, past clients and agent referrals.
So we were just talking about, the different markets you've seen and when the market got difficult in this current cycle that we're in, you looked yourself in the mirror and you asked yourself a couple of questions. Tell me what you asked yourself.
Well, I just thought, how can I be different? How can I bring more value to the community of real estate agents and even to other, again, vendors that we have? It's more of a financial package that I look at as a loan officer. So it's a financial package that's not just starting the loan, getting them to the end and funding and being on my way. It is that, what are they going to do after the fact, and how do I stay in touch with them?
To prove your point, on one of your social media platforms, you talk about evaluating your clients' overall financial goals and needs and helping them attain financial independence. What was the moment in your career that made you decide to look at your job as such?
I just think it's experiences in life, and you kind of take your own personal experiences and you bring them to your business. Going through things with my parents when they were sick, and they did have a trust. Having the trust was very key component to when they passed away, and having everything established for my siblings and I. In addition, my parents had a special needs trust for my disabled sister. So all of those things that I've gone through, I also bring forward to other clients.
It's amazing how your own personal experiences can impact the way that you handle things professionally. And we were talking a moment ago about you having this conversation with yourself, and here you are, a veteran of the business trying to figure out different ways to go about it, and you decided to put together an event, and this event happened last fall. So tell us how this started and what the concept for the event was.
Okay, so I came out to UWM Success Track, and watching one of the meetings in person with Matt Ishiba, and he was talking about how they're hiring 500 people a month and so forth, and I thought, wow, what is UWM seeing in 2024 that everybody else isn't, because people are laying people off? And I thought, gosh, this is such great information. How do I bring it to our community? How do I bring it to the real estate agents? Because we all need to be inspired. We all need to see, what's the vision that you have. When we're in our own little community and doing things, we don't know the big picture. So after I been here at UWM, I went home and I called up my account exec and I said, I need to bring this to my agents, to my people. And I said, and I want somebody bigger than you to come out. He didn't like that so much. But actually, he said, if you can bring 100 people, I will bring out some big guns with us. So I committed to 100 people, and that's what I had.
How did you market the event? When you're looking at the different people in your market that you could target for attending this, what was the approach?
I did personal invites. I did not market it on Facebook or anywhere out there. It was all personal invites. And the invites were from agents that I've worked with, agents I didn't work with. A lot of agents that I had on my Facebook that I just knew but hadn't worked with them personally. Also getting the financial advisors and trust attorneys and divorce attorneys. So people in the community and who knows who. And so I did personal invites.
I feel like we need to zoom out for a moment, and I want you to explain further why inviting divorce attorneys, tax preparers, trust attorneys, financial advisors, CPAs, because some of our listeners are probably hearing this right now and they're saying, well, all I really do is try to, get business from real estate agents. Why is that something that you choose to focus on, those other people in your sphere of influence?
I want to be the person that knows somebody and knows everybody. So when my client calls me for a loan, great, I'm the person to do the loan with. But when they call me and they don't know what to do with the trust or insurance and even a plumber or a painter or electrician, all of these things help me to be integrated into my client's life. And that's what we want to be. We want to be integrated, a part of their family, a part of their life.
I think your point about contractors, too, is such a smart one, because when somebody buys a home, chances are pretty good they're going to need to do something to that house, whether it's fixing up the landscaping, like you said, maybe they need to get a new roof at some point. And if you have a list of people, trusted names that you can refer them to, that's got to be a huge feather in your cap.
Absolutely. Everybody, you hear the stories. Oh, I got ripped off from this person, or this person overcharged me, or this person wasn't very good. When I'm referring to my clients, I want to make sure that that person that I'm referring is going to do to their job to the best that it can be and hold up to my expectations. So that's really important to me, is like making sure that my clients are well taken care of.
Okay, so let's get back to the event now, because I want to still cover all the bases with the event. Tell us how many people you invited and what the turnout was actually like.
Okay, so I invited 198 people.
Reached out to all of them personally.
I reached out to them with an Evite. And then what I did with that is I followed up with them on a every couple day basis, because on the Evite they can RSVP. And you could see that they've opened it or they haven't opened it, and then that prompted my phone call. So when they would RSVP yes, I would pick up the phone and I'd call them. Thank you so much. I'm really looking forward to it. This is going to be really great. And if they RSVP'd no, I picked up the phone and called them and said, oh, I'm so sorry you can't make it. Don't worry, we'll be having future events and I'll let you know. And then those that didn't respond, I'm picking up the phone saying, hey, I saw that you didn't open this or that you didn't respond. Are you able to make it? So it gave me this contact thing. I had basically 3 weeks to do all this basically marketing, right? People that were supposed to be calling all the time, I had now had reason to do that.
Okay, so tell us how the event went, because you kind of described it as top executives sharing market insights for 2024. So kind of broad in that sense, but I want to know, what was it like and what kind of feedback did you get?
Okay, so again, my invitation was insights from top executives on the market for 2024. And I did that because I feel everyone's so hungry and thirsty for, what is everyone going to see? Everyone's scared. People's business is down. So I wanted it to be really uplifting. I wanted them to know that it was going to be very informational for their business. I invited, as I said, 198. I had 110 RSVPs and 98 actual attendees.
And what was the experience like? Like, what kinds of thoughts did you get from the people that attended afterwards?
That they had no idea that this was going to be like this. So when they first walked in, first of all, I had it really nice at a restaurant, and the restaurant was really great about setting up the tables with black tablecloths and blue napkins. And then I ordered flowers for each table, and it just looked really elegant. And then we served lunch, and the agents were just really impressed with, number one, we did it in an hour and a half, so they weren't bored at all. There was no lull time, but there was networking time in the beginning as we were registering, and then also at the end. But during the event, it just went so smooth. It was it was everything I had hoped for and beyond. What it came out much better than I even had hoped for.
Yeah, when you and I spoke initially, before this interview, you called the event an aha moment for you. Why?
Again, everybody was thirsty, and I was able to provide value for the people that were there. So I didn't just invite real estate agents. I invited trust attorneys, divorce attorneys, bankruptcy attorney, insurance brokers, financial advisors, and tax preparer CPAs.
So you've talked about the trust attorneys now a couple of times, and I want to ask you now about your past clients, because this is part of your strategy as well. When you call up your past clients, what are you talking to them about relative to a trust?
So first of all, when we close, I always say, okay, thank you so much. It was great working with you. Thanks for the opportunity, but I'm not done yet. And they will kind of, what do you mean? Well, you're not done with me. I'm going to be sticking to you like glue. And we're going to make sure in a month that we're going to have a conversation about trust and life insurance. You've built so much and took so long to get into this house and really, sacrifice. Now we have to protect it. So that's the phone call I have 30 days in. How did everything, how's it, you loving your house? Great. Okay, remember I told you about getting a family trust. This is what we need to do. And a lot of them don't even know what it is. And they say 70% of the population does not have a family trust, which means they're going to go to probate if something should happen. So I share the importance of having a family trust to protect spouses and children. And then I also talk about life insurance. That those are two key components 30 days into being a homeowner that they need to obtain.
So you're doing this obviously because it's something you care deeply about and you want to help your clients with it. Diane, it also opens a door for you, and that ties into the law of reciprocity, because there are so many LOs and so many mortgage people out there that call up referral partners and ask them for business, but this strategy allows you to call them up and offer them business. Isn't that right?
Absolutely. So what I do is when I'm calling my clients to check if they've had a trust, so this is even past clients. My goal this year is to make sure all of my clients, all of them, past and future, obtain a family trust. So when I'm calling a client and I see that they haven't had a trust, I have that conversation with them. But if I see that they've had a trust, I ask them, so what did you think of your trust attorney? Would you recommend them? Oh yeah, they were great. Wonderful. Would you mind recommending them to me? And the reason is I want to have a book of trust attorneys that I can meet with, talk with, trust, that I can refer them confidently to my clients. Because I can't give one trust attorney 5-10 deals a week. So I've got to have other people that I can refer it to. So once I make that referral, then I call the trust attorney. Hey, I just referred Joe and Mary Smith. They're going to be contacting you. This is what I'd like to do. Great. They love that, right? And there it goes. So when I'm referring somebody, like I said, 5, 6, 10 a week, what's going to happen? I'm not asking them for anything, but they're going to know that I'm taking care of my clients. They're going to know my heart, and they're going to know my commitment to my clients. They're going to refer people to me.
It's amazing. In sales, Diane, as you know, I'm not sure there are 5 better words than I have business for you. But that is exactly what you're doing when you call up these attorneys. I mean, what kind of a reaction are you getting from them when you say that?
A little silence on the phone, not knowing what to say. And I said, well, I'm just wondering, are you open for new business? Well, yeah. Okay, great. Let me tell you what I'm doing. And I share with them what I'm doing. And does that sound good to you? And I always get the positive yes. Great. So I'm going to be referring people on a regular basis to you. I'll let you know. And you tell me, would you like them to call you? Do you want to reach out to them? Do you want to do an introduction email? How would you like me to handle it? And they all give that to me. And then, boom, it just starts flowing in.
And then how does it grow from there? Because you're offering up business to them. Are they then coming back to you and saying, hey, thank you for what you did for me. I now have somebody for you?
Absolutely. I mean, and they were like, I never thought of this before. I never realized a loan officer can be a resource of business for me. And I just share and they see what I'm actually doing. And again, I'm actually doing it. It's not just talk, right? Oh, I'm going to give you business, and then you never hear from them. I say I'm going to give you business, and so I'm talking with these trust attorneys or reaching out via email every week. So they're hearing from me all the time. What better marketing piece is to reach out to them every week with business for them? And then it will slip in, maybe after 5 or 6 times I speak with them. Hey, do you ever come across somebody that's looking for a loan? Are they going to say no to me? So I'm planting the seed that I'm open for business as well. And there you have it. It just starts flowing back.
It's the ultimate example of offering value and then that value coming back to you in return.
Well, then now I have a person that they've referred to me that needs a real estate agent. Now I'm also of value to the real estate agent, bringing them business, bringing them people. So again, it just becomes this whole circle event of intertwining and being that value-added person.
Yeah, I love the way you put that, intertwining, because to me, I was thinking about it, and it's like you have this web, all these different people in your sphere of influence, from your past clients to your realtor partners to your tax attorneys to the CPAs and financial advisors. I mean, when you think about everybody that you've compiled now, and the impact it's had on your business as you look to, as we talked about, reinvent yourself a little bit. What comes to mind, Diane?
Well, I mean, I think I shared with you that about 15 years, actually it's been about 18 years, I was asked to join a B&I group, which is a networking group. Well, I really didn't want to, but I was kind of tied into, the FOMO thing, fear of missing out. I didn't want my real estate agent bringing a different lender in there. So I thought, well, I better join, pull my arm, twist my arm, and I joined. And as I met with these 30 individuals of different categories of people, I started getting to know these people and realizing, they could be a referring source for me. I've got a client that just talked about a flooring person. I can refer them to this flooring person. And real estate agent's talking about a roofer. I now become that person that has somebody that I know for everything that's out there. And it's not me, but I know people. So if I'm trusted, they're going to trust my word that I'm referring them. So the referral person is very important to who I refer out.
You've got somebody for everybody.
Yeah, that's what I game for.
I just absolutely love that. So I want to ask you for your message now to our listeners, because you've given them so many great things to think about. Where should they start if they're looking to expand their sphere of influence into some of the different, people we've talked about, the attorneys, the financial advisors, the CPAs? Do they need to do an event like you did, or where do they start, Diane? What's your advice?
Well, first of all, I would look and see if you can get into a networking group, because the whole structure of a networking group, or at least B&I, is that their concept is giver's gain. Whatever you give, you're going to get back tenfold with that whole law of reciprocity. Oh, I said it right.
Yes, you did.
So that's the whole key component there, is that you're not looking for yourself. You're looking to be that person. And when you give, it feels so good, and it makes everything that we do really fun, because you just helped somebody and you created value. And then, they go, but you didn't get anything out of it. I will. And that's my mindset. It'll come back. Maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but next week, next month, next year. It comes back because you're looking out for somebody else's best interest rather than your own.
To wrap it up, and this is a broader question for you, but I just want to ask you, because I just admire what you did so much when you really looked yourself in the mirror and asked what else you could do, or what is something different I can be doing to help myself in this challenging market. So for you, almost 40 years in the business to do that, what's your message to others out there who maybe are sitting in the shoes that you were in prior to that day?
Well, again, how can you reinvent yourself with being something better than your peers? I have great friends out there in the loan business, and we talk, we collaborate, but how do I make myself better? And I even have loan officers calling me and asking me for referrals or information, insight on certain things. So I think building your community, building your people, and you asked where else would someone start from, just even asking past clients or your family members, hey, Mom, Dad, do you guys have a trust? Who was your trust attorney? Do you like that person? And reach out that way. Who's their tax preparer? Do you like that person? Great, now that becomes a referral. Everybody loves to have their referral given because they always have the best tax preparer, or the best attorney, or the best life insurance. So they're gladly to give you that information. Then when you call that person, hey, Joe and Mary Smith gave me your name and number. They said you were wonderful, and I'm looking to grow my resources for my clients. Are you open for referrals? Now, I'm not looking for anything for myself, but I'm looking to bring my clients to you. Is that something that you would be interested in? And that's how that conversation just flows.
Well, I always say that some of our best clients are the ones that, truly present themselves as advisors, and you just embody everything about that, Diane. So thank you so much for joining us and for sharing your message. I think it's a great one for our listeners and one they will all benefit from. Diane Luongo-Gazich from C2 Financial, thank you so much for being with us.
Thank you so much for having me. It was a pleasure.
Thank you for watching Good Better Broker and helping us support independent mortgage brokers everywhere. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel to be notified about new videos, as well as your preferred podcast platform for a new episode every other Tuesday.